Town Council, Lapel Town Council, Thursday, January 19th or 15th, 2026. First thing is Pledge of Allegiance. No, but I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, we are starting. Thank you. There it is. I can't get my, there it is. Okay. Once again, we're starting the town council meeting for January 15th, 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Gary Shuck,
Present.
Lindsay Washmuth, here. Chad Blake.
Present.
Okay, we will now entertain any public comment or concerns.
I also sent you guys emails of the presentation that I'm about to make regarding animal. Do you want a copy of that?
Yes.
I'll give you guys, because I know you guys have been heavily involved. Bear with me here. All right, thank you. My name is Alicia West. I am a resident here of Lapel, and I would like to thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I am here in the request that the council consider strengthening our animal control ordinances to better protect residents, pets, and town resources. My concerns are based on Indiana law, local ordinances, and public health and safety in comparison with similar Indiana towns. State law, Indiana Code 15-20-1-4, already makes it an infraction for dogs to stray without reasonable control. However, state law alone does not provide enough clarity or enforcement tools at the local level. Local ordinances are necessary to clearly define expectations, penalties, and police authority. The current ordinance 9-1982 does not provide a clear definition of owners for a strong penalty to prevent habitual offenders from committing offenses continuously. I also attached the restraint ordinance in the email that I sent. Public health and safety concerns, if you look at the email I sent, I showed a nice pile of dog feces in my front yard that these dogs continuously leave. Uncontrolled animals create a real health risk. Parvo and other diseases spread through fecal matter left behind by roaming dogs. If a dog is unvaccinated and carries parvo, exposure can happen simply by walking through contaminated areas. Treatment for parvo can cost up to $8,000, which is an unfair burden on responsible pet owners. This is just not an inconvenience, it is also a serious public health and animal welfare issue. I researched local towns within the state, similar to Lapel in size, demographics, median age, household income, and median home values. Avila, Indiana was the closest match. Despite being similar, Avila has adopted stronger animal control ordinances. Their ordinances give their police clearer authority and allow better enforcement. This shows that stronger animal control laws are reasonable and workable in a town like Lapel. Recommended ordinance, animals running at large. I recommend an ordinance that clearly states no animal may run at large within town council, or within town limits, or council. This removes ambiguity around reasonable control. Clear rules make enforcement easier for our police department. Expectations fair for everyone. And if you'll see the picture that I listed in the email, these two dogs came charging at my husband at 4 a.m. The only thing that stopped them for the second time was a shovel that he was able to pull out of our garage. I would also like you to entertain authority to euthanize dangerous animals. I recommend adopting language similar to Avila's ordinance. This would allow police to act when an animal possesses an immediate threat to people on property. This authority would be only used when necessary for safety, not routinely, of course. I would also like to encourage the town to adopt an ordinance that, sorry, I'm trying not to get upset. Adopt an ordinance that creates stricter policies for repeated violators. Some owners repeatedly ignore existing rules. I propose court ordinances and possible animal seizure for repeat offenders. This creates accountability and prevents ongoing risk to the community. I suggest first violation should have modest fines with incentive for quick compliance. Proof of vaccinations or acceptable attire should be mandatory. I do understand that is a suggestion in the current ordinance. However, this has got to be enacted to where that is proven every single year or any sort of violation. Repeat violations should carry a higher fines and potential court involvement. Ongoing violations should count as separate offenses to prevent chronic non-compliance. This is not only an issue for our town, but our police department. Our police department should not have to be continuously subjected to these dogs over and over and over. You guys have been on there, what, 5, 6 times?
Several.
Just guessing? So, with responsible pet owners should not have to pay the price of irresponsible ones. Clear ordinances protect our residents, our pets, our police officers, and lastly, I would like to state children. I have a neighbor who has a 6-year-old daughter that was attacked 2 weeks ago by these dogs. She was pushed down. She has bloodied lips, bloodied hands, and this is not acceptable. I've come to you guys since the spring with this concern. I also, can I steal that back? Thank you. This letter is from my other neighbor that's on the other side of me, Pat Stevenson. She has been a member of this community since 1960, which is older than what Gary's been here. This letter is from her. She can't make it. She's at Bible study right now, but if anybody knows Pat Stevenson, to know her is to love her. It states, Lapel Town Council. My name is Pat Stevenson and I live at 503 John Street, Lapel. I am a homeowner and I've lived here since 1960. I am afraid and concerned about the dogs that live across the street from me at 434 John Street. There are times they are outside of the fence running loose in the neighborhood. I've seen as many as 5 of them outside the fence at one time. That makes me very cautious and I don't want to go outside. Last summer, I was out in my yard working in my flower beds when one of the black dogs came up behind me and was growling at me. I was able to walk across the street, and at the moment, one of the renters came outside of the home. I asked him to put his dog inside, and he did. I would appreciate it if you would solve this problem, and I thank you in advance for your help. Sincerely, Pat Stevenson.
Question.
Yes, sir.
You researched the Avila
Yes, sir.
ordinance. Do you think, does it look good?
It does look good based on my research because of let me go back to my other notes. because of the way our ordinance is clearly written right now, we have what we call the Violations Bureau. The Violations Bureau has to be kept under $300. So at this point, the second violation in my mind, because we have a young girl who was attacked by a dog, at this point, it should be, in my mind, a $300 fine, and then if they repeat then again, then they should go to court. Just like Officer Diaz came down and said, you know, this is not only a risk for us, but it's a risk for the residents, and it's not okay.
So one thing, back in June, we did actually hire a company to go through and update all of our ordinances. And part of that codification that they will do is they take all of our ordinances and they're in the process of rewriting them and bringing them up to standard, you know, modern times, so to speak. That ordinance being one of them. Obviously, that ordinance being 9-1982 means it was last updated in 1982.
Right.
So not the most current thing. So one of the nice things with American Legal Publishing or Publications that is doing that recodification for us, we do have the power. They will compile based on our ordinances a new ordinance. So whatever that animal control ordinance is, they will take the national standard Indiana law and they'll say, here's our recommended ordinance based on the standard. We always have the power to then make those stricter in that process.
Right.
And they're working off everything that we gave them, I think in September, of what our current ordinances were. So there is time for us if we wanted to do something before they're done with it, because it's about a year-long process. We have the opportunity to do an update and get that to them so that it becomes part of that new process as well. And part of that codification is also this fee schedules and establishing a better ordinance bureau, all of those things. So there is part of that we are working on because we know our ordinances are lackluster, out of date. Like I don't think I've seen anybody come in town hall for a cat license in a while. But if you go by our ordinance, you're supposed to license every cat.
Right.
So I know that doesn't help the immediate situation,
Exactly.
but it is, we are working on it, but it doesn't mean we can't take swifter action than that.
I appreciate that information, I do. Can I get some sort of an answer right now as to what we're gonna do?
We would have to go through legal.
And I understand that.
They would have to, like, they could take that ordinance, make sure it applies to all our stuff, and it could come to a future meeting, and then we have to go through the process of approving the ordinance. So,
I used to know a fellow up in Avila that was on the town council, and I will try to get a hold of him, because he ran a business that I delivered to, and talk to him about that ordinance and get a copy of it so that we can get to,
I can give you a copy of it.
well, but I'll talk to him to see how it works.
Yeah.
How it is actually working up there. My other question is, so this dog bit a girl, young lady?
I'm gonna let her come up and speak now on this topic. She filed a police report, but thank you so much for letting me present tonight. Real quick, another topic. New year, new bills at the State House.
Yes.
Familiarize yourself with them.
there's something.
So she was not bit. She was attacked. This was right before Thanksgiving, so it was a little more than 2 weeks ago. We were literally walking to the library from my home. And this dog, literally the owner was out. I saw him with his hood up. He was like walking towards me, and then this dog comes around and jumps onto her, tackles her to the ground, leaves her, comes back, jumps on her again, and tackles her to the ground a second time. My daughter is 6. Both of my children were completely freaked out.
Sure.
They saw the dogs in our front yard 3 days ago and were basically in tears on my floor. So,
And we couldn't do anything with the dog?
because it didn't bite her.
Well, this ordinance that was created in 1982 and amended in 94 says that Lapel Police Department can order, I've lost it, It doesn't say, there's provisions for being bitten, but it does say that they can order it to be like held, yeah.
Well, the owner at the time said that he would be rehoming the dog. I have since seen that dog. I haven't seen it this month, that particular one, but I did see it at least 4 weeks later.
I've seen it this month.
Okay.
We'll work on that really quickly,
Okay.
Thank you.
as in first of next week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Catherine Callahan. So have you guys talked to the city of Anderson? They've got rules, they've got a dog catcher and everything. You may want to reach out to them because they have a whole area. Because I know when I was coroner, we had them come out and they would take the dogs and seize the dogs right there for us. So you
Well,
may
then,
want to ask them.
Madison County has one too, right?
Yeah,
County
so
has-
I would talk to them.
Yeah,
I'm saying they won't do that.
yes, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna have to upgrade what we do,
And
I-
interlocal agreement.
especially at
The ordinance says this, but what do we have to support you to do that? So I think this new
If you
ordinance.
recognize me, I can comment, or you can wait till later, I can give you some.
Well, I
recognize
comment, but it's-
I recognize you.
I know who you are.
No, you,
Okay, so we have multiple issues. One of them, not telling anybody anything, but I came here in 2018. 2019, I started requesting codification of the ordinances so that I can actually start using them. It still hasn't happened. An ordinance is good, but it's no good if I can't enforce it. Right now, for dogs, it doesn't matter because state law is going to be more productive than what a local ordinance is. Dogs are considered property, so it's extremely hard to remove a dog from a residence. Not saying that it can't be done, it can be, but it's hard. We also have to make sure, and I'm asking that a lot of times, and not in this situation because I'm not aware, I will talk, you know, the officer that took that report.
I don't, if the officer is not here tonight, it was
Okay.
on 11/24 or 11/25, there was a
Hispanic officer, white officer?
Hispanic officer, yes.
No, it is. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I will
And there,
talk to
he
him.
took photos and I assume there was a police.
I'll talk to
report.
him.
Okay.
And then, so a lot of things that go to dogs actually fall underneath civil law. Now, let's get back for a minute. We have no ability to take a dog and store it anywhere. We have no contract with anybody. We talked with the vet clinic, and I'm not gonna go into detail on that because, this isn't the place to do that. Right now, we're not able to use that. County will not pick up our animals. Anderson will not pick up our animals. I can check with APL again, but at the time, APL had too many animals because Anderson and county, as well as the city of Anderson, were taking their animals there. So, as of right now, if I have an aggressive dog in town, my options are to shoot it or to shoot. That's it. I can't take it anywhere, can't do anything with it. So what we can do is we can look at this, we can make sure that, people are reporting, because a lot of times we hear after the fact. I'm not delivering anything, but you've got to let us know, and in this case, if she did, I will also verify that, and I'll look into that as well, okay, and make sure that everything that was done can be done. I'll be honest, I was not aware of that. I'm not aware of every call that goes on, but I will look into that. So those are the issues we've got. The first step that I need is I need codification of the ordinances, because once that's complete, then I can enter it into our system, and then I can write the tickets. That's high priority. The second thing is I've already reached out, and I've also got a couple of ordinances that I would like to institute. Some of those will have different fees associated. Eventually, maybe we can even be self-sufficient on an animal control if we can find some place to do it. About the only place we have right now is a non-for-profit, but they're not consistent. So I can't make an ordinance based on them because they're not always able to take an animal. So we definitely have an animal problem in the town. And no one likes to hear it, but right now, there isn't a great solution.
The only solution I have is to go by that statute. If we have an animal that is out, we can start citing them. If they unfortunately do bite somebody, those are criminal charges underneath state statute, not an ordinance. Those are criminal charges. But I also have to have the court back me up and file, and that's not always easy unless it's been a repeat offender. So we are aware, at least the police department, I am definitely aware that we have an issue. We are working on getting it done. There's a lot of things I wish I could do, but I'm bound by the law just the same as you are. I can only do what I can do. I'm willing to work with you. If you've got issues, let us know. If one of my officers come out and you don't feel like it was handled, I'm not saying you have to file a complaint. If that's, it doesn't have, you can come talk to me and we can have a discussion, and you may or may not like my answer, but I'll tell you what I can do. Obviously we don't want kids running around scared of animals. And then also if we start having repeat, then I can also talk to the town attorney and we can look at filing affidavits in the court based on other statutes that are not animal statutes.
Where do we stand legally about protecting our property?
In the state of Indiana, if that dog is on your property, you have a right to protect your property.
Clear.
Now, understand you open yourself up to civil
I
litigation.
understand that too.
I'm talking on a criminal
A
level.
lot of them, you can look
On
it up too.
a criminal level, you're able to protect your property or your person.
Did Evan and or Jeff they started working like codifications at one point?
That's what Chad was discussing.
We started
June.
in June.
So we are definitely making strides.
They just got the last of the ones from last month, and they had all the rest of them already done, so I look for it not to take too much longer.
We're taking strides in the right direction. It's just.
And it's not only this ordinance, it's several, correct?
Every ordinance.
It's
Because
taking,
I've heard you guys have the conversation, like, look, I need this fixed, I need this fixed.
it's every ordinance we currently have will go away and there will be a brand new set. It'll be sectioned off by what it is. It's very user friendly and very detailed.
I just pray nothing else happens, because this family walks their kids to school every single day. I mean, they're
With this particular incident, I
from
can
Colorado, they're walking their kids in sub-zero
Literally, if it
temperatures.
is above 20
I will be
degrees, we
looking
walk
into
our
that
children to
address.
school.
and that incident. That's all I had on that response. I can wait till my turn again.
Okay.
If you have any questions.
All right, we will move on. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike.
No,
I'm sorry.
I ain't done yet or not. Mike Hildebrand, I'm a resident of Lapel, have been over half century. I live at 22 West 7th Street, or 30 West 7th Street.
It's okay.
First of all, I'd like to thank the street department. They done a great job on keeping the road open during the snow we've had so far this year. And then if you go back, several years, they blocked off, the street in front of my house and put up a railing and all that. Well, that's buckled up there by where the sidewalk is, and the water will, run into the water basin like it's supposed to. And they had to work on it, I don't know, 9-10 years ago, but it's come back up again. And then there's a bunch of dirt there, I would assume, from plowing.
Yeah.
Which can't be helped. And then I have some papers here I'd like to give to someone. It's on ordinances at 22 West Tillman Avenue. I talked to the owner, and he said within a week everything will be cleaned up. Well, they rearranged some things and all that. What's out there at the side of the building now could be stored in the garage. It is not. You've got a bunch of old tires, which I think is illegal to even be out there like that. You've got car parts. You've got
computer monitor, and I don't know, an old chair. And that, you know, is in these ordinances here, that's still good at this time. And I would appreciate it, you know, if I could hand them to somebody and they would enforce them.
Yep.
I've been coming here now about 2 years, we're getting somewhere, starting
Yes. They cleaned it up somewhat.
somewhat, but
They're starting,
There's a
the
window
people are
out
starting,
the
the windows
door.
are starting to get broke out.
and, they have a for rent sign up.
Yep.
But the fellow that owns the place told me, he said, it'll be like new in about a week. He supposedly is a dentist in Carmel.
Yep.
But so, I thank you much.
We'll work on that.
Going forward, how can that place be rented out if it doesn't have any heat or any, like, if it doesn't meet code, building code, how can it even be rented?
Well, the owner and the renter will have to agree on getting all that up to code.
Planning wouldn't step in to avoid.
Well, they would as far as the permitting, because there'd have to be some remodeling permits,
Okay,
as far as that goes. And I think the owner knows now that he just can't move anybody in there without going through the process.
right.
Well, when they took the grass off and added the rocks on top, that made it higher than the road, so it all runs toward me now anyway.
Okay. See what we can do. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Moving on, presentation. That be you guys? No, not yet? Is
There's nothing,
that in the department?
that's in the new business.
It
Put your
is.
glasses on.
I'm sorry. All right. In new business then. I am, yeah. I am, yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, in new business, as you can tell, we are a little short tonight on personnel. One, Roger couldn't make it, and two, Mr. Robertson has resigned from the council, effective as of Monday. So we are short one person. So the first item we have, well, actually there's two of the first three items, are election of officers and appointment of liaisons for the different boards. I would make the motion that we move the vice president up to president on an interim basis and table any kind of, till we have a full board. Any comments? In other words, wait till we have
So
Brian's replacement.
ultimately, you would remain as the de facto town executive until we have a full board.
Yes, yes. And then you can elect somebody else. Or whatever, back then.
And that's legally, that's not an issue, just.
Yeah, we just have to have an interim president, because there's gotta be a president, and then, once we get a full board, we can have an election and put a new president in at that time.
So I made, the motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Gary,
Unfortunately, yes.
Lindsay,
No.
Chad,
No.
I would just say this, because anyone else coming in wouldn't have the experience to be president or vice president, so I wouldn't put them there.
Well, okay, the reason I did that is just for the voting. They would have a say in who is the officers. That's all.
What if it was a tie between Chad and Chuck? That's fair.
Mhm.
That's fair,
That way it's an odd number.
yeah.
So that being voted down, what do you want to do?
No, I feel like it's not fair.
I guess to clarify my question, so with Gary being the vice president, he is in the absence of a president, he is
The acting
he is
executive.
the town executive in the absence of a president. So do we need that clarification, that appointment?
We do need that clarification. There has to be an executive according to statute. The statute actually doesn't lay out a vice president. It's just something that we do because it makes things run smoother. So there does need to be a head executive, whether it be interim or voted on today. There does need to be that executive in position according to the statute. So absent the interim, we can if there's any nominations for the president at this time, we can vote on that.
Can I change my name?
I mean,
It's a fair point. I think like Roger and the other person should get a vote. And I was
Yeah,
thinking
make a
about,
second
You can do it again,
Yeah, you can make the motion again to have a
interim.
interim and then be Gary.
I feel like that's unfairly on.
that clarification helps for me also.
Yes. I feel like it's just
I would
right
make a
away.
motion that Gary is appointed the interim council president, pending, additional members to vote.
Second.
Gary,
Unfortunately, yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Chad.
Yes.
I guess I should have opened that up for comments.
Before you made the motion.
Yeah, well, but you can,
I'm sorry,
okay,
I need you to look at this real quick.
I understood that. So, with that being said, we need to officially or formally accept his letter of resignation. So I will move to accept, although
What are we doing?
begrudgingly, accept his resignation to the town council. Is there a comment or second?
Wait, can we force it to come back?
I wish.
I will, did you make the motion, Gary, or were you requesting one?
I've made the motion.
I will second.
Gary,
Unfortunately, yes.
Lindsay, Chad.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Chair recognizes Catherine.
What district does he cut? Is he a district person? Okay, so if you could just, so people, because there would be a caucus.
We are, yes, it will be a caucus.
Yeah.
And we are all at-large personnel, at-large delegates.
So anybody in the area can run
Yes.
for the caucus in his.
Yes, with his party.
I would say, I believe Teresa was gonna cover the details later, because you have to reach out to, the Republican Party from Madison County, get your
Sure.
name in there, and then the precinct committee people meet and then select. But
Yeah.
We've got
there's-
30 people watching.
There's a
And-
process.
Yeah, she will put out a advertisement in the paper and let everybody know that position is available and they can apply. And then, as Chad said, the committee personnel.
And then you might cover this. Is his seat up for election this year? Or is
No.
that a caucus that's gonna hold for 2 years?
It'll be through 27. His
I
seat is,
think Roger and Lindsay are up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Roger and Lindsay are this year, myself, Gary, and Brian, and Teresa.
okay. We done with that?
I guess.
Unfortunately.
Are we gonna table the schedule and liaisons?
Yes. Yes. Okay, establishment of the 2027 meeting schedule. I assume that we will leave it at the third Thursday of the month at 7 PM at the Lions Club. If that is,
I'll make that.
Lindsay made that motion, I will second.
Gary,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Chad.
Yes.
Next item, utility management construction LLC contract modification. Maybe tabling that. And there's been some concerns raised on that. So we need to do a little more negotiation. So we will table that until February.
In the appointment, you skipped appointment of liaisons.
No, we didn't table that.
You have to vote to table.
No.
You have to vote to table.
Legal clarification,
Yeah, go ahead and vote for it.
just for,
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we vote to table the appointment of liaisons.
sorry.
That's all right. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting. Gary,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Chad.
Yes.
Now we are going to talk about the utility management. You got to understand, folks, that this all happened. I wasn't planning on being president this quick.
I would make a motion to table utility management contract modification to the next meeting.
Second.
Gary,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Chad.
Yes.
Those are quick. Now, finally we get down to some business. This is you guys, intergovernment under memorandum of understanding for intergovernment cooperation regarding the Interstate 69 corridor.
Yes, so
Marcus?
Marcellus.
Marcus.
Close.
I have Marcus on my brain.
I said your name earlier correctly.
I did. You'll have to forgive me, Marcellus, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm Marcellus Johnson, Plan Administrator for the Town of Lapel. The Plan Commission met last week and discussed this item. The main issues discussed at the meeting were questions about what exactly the memorandum of understanding, what Lapel will be committing to by signing on to the memorandum of understanding. I explained that the MOU is non-binding. There's no legal penalty for not fully carrying it out. But it does represent a show of good faith and goodwill for parties that agree to it. Essentially, it would be Town of Lapel stating that it is going to modify its zoning ordinances in a way that allows it to meet the minimum standards proposed by the corridor plan. The way that I would suggest it is that we would draft an overlay district that would only cover the zone of designated in though it's also up to it had to be just that area, or if it could be larger or small, maybe not so much smaller, but larger. And Plan Commission or the Town Council could decide to extend that overlay district to farther than the zone asked for in the plan if that was desirable to sort of make a more unified appearance for a second. Notify one another when there is a planning application submitted within that district, particularly with regards to subdivisions and new business development, new construction, so that the other towns that are bordering that in that zone can be made aware of that application and can participate in the review process, and so that we're all kind of on the same page and one town isn't building something that is gonna disrupt or disturb stuff that's happening on the other side of that boundary. So it, encourages all the towns to cooperate more in their planning process and make this a more unified area.
So ultimately what we're talking about is State Road 13 around I-69.
Correct.
Where you have Lapel, Ingalls, and Pendleton share an intersection.
Yes.
And trying to get it to where all of us play nice and it doesn't look like a mess down there.
Right. And so that we all have the same standards, and so that somebody isn't, saying, oh, I don't want to meet your standards, so I'll go to somebody else who has lower standards. We're all committing to having the same standards, so that doesn't happen anymore.
And is it the corridor 1 mile?
Yes, the buffer zone is 1 mile on either side of.
Either side of 69?
Yeah. So, my name is John Levine, Madison County Council of Governments. We're the ones who put the plan together. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just was jumping in there. But it goes from exit 214 to exit 226 along the I-69 corridor, and it's a 1 mile offset buffer on either side. So it would only cover a small portion of Lapel. When Marcellus mentioned the overlay district, the ordinances, the coordination of planning efforts as a part of this project would only apply to that small portion there.
Unless we decide to go.
Unless you decide to expand it later, yeah.
Up to 650 or something.
As a part of that planning process where we had a steering committee and representatives from each town, Lapel was going through transitions at the time because we started out with you and then Oksana came on and then, there was transitions there. So unfortunately, we didn't get to coordinate or meet or present to Lapel as much as we would have liked to at the time. Just because of the transition at the time Oksana had a baby. You're all familiar with that, but.
And I didn't.
But, we did come and present to the planning commission.
Right.
And,
Right.
So right now we have Neil in Ingalls and Hannah Urbanski from Pendleton has signed on to the agreement as well already. So we're looking for Lapel, and then the only other two that were involved were Madison County and the City of Anderson, which we wanted to get the 3 that were in the growth area first. Because as you can see, I'm sure you're familiar with Neil and Ingalls and Walmarts and things are starting to come in and probably going to start to knock on your door there in Lapel near the interstate in the near future. So we're trying to get ahead of the development. These are not crazy standards. We went through all of your existing standards and we basically just kind of picked the minimum of all of you guys and just asked if that was good for everybody. And yes, a lot of the steering committee all agreed to it. We're not trying to turn the area or trying to come up with crazy standards. We're just trying to avoid uncoordinated development decisions that have lasting impacts on the communities. So, for example, areas where they develop too close to an interstate and now you have access problems or you have traffic issues or congestion issues, things like that. Places where there's trails that go to nowhere, like if this could be coordinated with the next adjacent town in multi-jurisdictional area, then we could have a trail that crosses or has a similar treatments and things like that. That's what this project was all about.
Okay. I'll also add that we talked a little bit about what some of the benefits are, and John just mentioned some, and I talked about some earlier, but Additionally, one benefit that I think is of great importance is that by cooperating with neighboring towns, Lapel can position itself better to receive various grants and funding opportunities for infrastructure projects, economic development projects, as both the state and federal government tend to prioritize projects that involve multiple jurisdictions working together as opposed to a single jurisdiction.
Right.
So it's a really important benefit, especially given some of the changes in the way that towns receive funding recently. Additionally, there was questions about what the amendment process for the memorandum of understanding would be, if its terms could be changed, and no changes can be made to the agreement without the consent of all the parties who have signed on to it. So there won't be any sort of, these three towns all agree to change something and overrule the others. That's something like that's not going to happen. Everybody has to agree, and any town can decide on their own to leave the agreement after a 30-day notice period if they feel like it's not working or they're not getting out of it what they want. So it's even though the MOU is asking for they would. So with all of that, after all that discussion, Plan Commission did vote unanimously to grant a favorable recommendation to the town council that Lapel sign on to this MOU.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions. Sounds like a good deal to me.
Then I would, you got anything else to add, John?
No, just the fact that NDOT, one of our oversight agencies, was a part of that steering committee as well. And since State Road 13 and I-69 NDOT facilities, they were heavily involved in the project and they're very happy with the standards as well. So any coordination with them or projects with them, they're in full approval of this process as well.
Good. So I would entertain a motion to accept the MOU.
I make a motion to accept the I-69 MOU.
I'll second.
Gary,
Yes.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay,
No.
Okay. You got something to sign?
Yeah. I have multiple copies if you want to sign two and keep one. Or I can get two digitally, however you want to do it, but.
I need a preference.
if I retrain you.
I know.
Just.
Make sure by title you put unfortunately first.
Wait. Just said it has 3 votes to pass.
Oh.
Table till next month.
Just not a majority of the quorum?
Takes 3.
So it takes not a simple majority, but.
Right.
Well, hold on to that. Okay. We'll table that till next month, all right? Or when we have more than 3 people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And I do recognize you too. In old business, we have a correction of the salary exhibits, salary ordinance exhibits B and F. There was a Scrivener's error, for
Yes,
lack of a better
the
term.
person that made the spreadsheet had an extra line in it, and it moved 3 positions, 1 grade higher. This does not affect any pay rates or anything. It is just correcting the error, putting the positions back in their assigned pay grade.
Any questions?
I'll make a motion to accept the correction of salary exhibits B and F. included there.
Second.
Gary,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Chad.
Yes.
On to our departments, the police department.
Real quick before I start, just to follow up, we were sitting here, we have issued several citations to the individual, for that. I know he's went to court, I'll find out what the standings were, and then we're still going to continue, but just so it's not that, unfortunately, there hasn't been anything done, it's just not been very much, so there's been ordinance, citations issued.
My question would be then, you said there's been several citations. When does that become a common nuisance? And you can do something more about it versus just dogs?
So there's three types of nuisance. Attorney can weigh in on that, but there's criminal nuisance. Criminal nuisance deals with drugs, alcohol. Doesn't apply here. There's a civil nuisance, which is going to apply to that repeated, which means that that person would open them up to a civil. So two things that happen, the attorney would have to discuss it, but the individual could sue, and then you'd have to seek counsel from the town attorney whether the town can sue as or affected party.
Okay.
Okay, and then the third would be the ordinance nuisance, but that still relies based on state law.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I digress.
So I just wanted to say that we did see that, we have made some, so we'll continue, and I'll do some more research into that now.
Okay.
Real quick, just a quick update, personnel, we don't have a lot. Reserve Officer Binda, retired on 1 January 2026. To Chesterfield community. We will be having a retirement party for him on 24 January. You are definitely invited as a council. I'm not requesting you be there, but if you would like to be there, I'm not saying I don't want you there. I don't want anybody to feel like it's
Not like when your parents came to school.
But if you would like to attend, you are more than welcome to attend. Get with me, and I'll give you the date. What wasn't on there, and honestly, I thought sitting here also on Monday at 4 p.m. I know it's a holiday, but we were going to do a swearing in of our new female reserve officer. She wasn't able to do it today, so we're going to do that Monday at 4 p.m. Again, if anybody would like to be there, you're more than welcome. That would be at Town Hall at 4 p.m. Real quick on the vehicles, the second F-150. So that would be the scheduled purchase vehicle for the year. Should be upfit, should be completed before the end of the month. It's at 80% right now. Only thing we're waiting on is not the upfitter, but we have a few parts that are still waiting to come in. Obviously, the other vehicle has already been on the road. It's in service, which was the replacement for the total vehicle. Getting to that, the insurance update, I just want to give everybody an update on the insurance. So the insurance update for the total F-150, we received the vehicle replacement check. We received that a while back, I believe. Actually, the other vehicle been paid off, so that check was done and gone. The vehicle was paid off, and then what was remaining was put towards the purchase of the vehicle when we bought it. There was still another check to cover the upfit of that replacement vehicle. So we submitted it. We did the upfit. He submitted the invoice. I submitted that invoice to insurance. We got that check back. So I thought we were closed out. However, I was just notified tonight that there may be an outstanding invoice. If there is, I will get back with the insurance company and we'll get that remaining invoice taken care of. But that should close out that invoice. What wasn't paid for by insurance, which would have been lights, siren box. We contacted Wheelan. We didn't, but our outfitter did, contacted Wheeling warranted the other equipment out, whether it was working or not, because it'd been involved in an accident. So they sent us brand new equipment, and our 10-year warranty started over when we received that equipment. So that vehicle's ready to roll. As far as the month, I don't have a whole lot. Obviously, we're only the 15th day in the month, so we're good. What I did provide for you is 2025 end of year. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to read the numbers real quick, just give an update. There's a new program that I found within LERMS, was made aware of. I didn't find it. I was made aware of it. So some of my reports will eventually start being nice color coded. I'm learning the system as I'm going. It's brand new. All it is it just compiles data. It's not anything major. I can't change what it compiles. I just have to take the ready-made reports. But this was kind of interesting because something we haven't seen before. For 2025 response times, and this is going to be response times from the time that dispatch receives the call until the officer arrives. Our average for the entire year was 113 seconds. We don't have the fire department anymore, but just to let you know that the fire department's response time was 524 seconds.
Yeah, that was the old fire.
That was the old fire department. So we're getting even better response time, not better fire department, better response time with a full man. So just sometimes people understand emergencies. Everybody takes forever. We're pretty quick. We get there pretty quick, and at the same time, fire department as well. Real quick again, total incidents, calls for service that we had last year, 4,966. Those types of calls are on the sheet that I provided for you. We had 95 arrests last year. Those are broken down by warrantless arrest, summons, cited. In other words, we requested a warrant. That information is on there. Out of those 95 arrests, we submitted 200 charges to the prosecutor's office. Quite a bit. You can see them broken down there. Some of those are still warrants that are pending. The person hasn't been arrested, but overall, it's how many charges were submitted to the Madison County Prosecutor's Office. The rest of it is basically taking the incidents, the total number of incidents. One of the reports is going to give you by day, so you can look at throughout the year what day historically and time that we have the most activity. Same thing, but only by month instead of by day. Any questions?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you. The planning department. That is you, Marcel.
Hello again. The large bulk of our meeting last week was on the memorandum of understanding, so we already kind of reported out on that. Obviously, as the first meeting of the year, we also voted for officers for the Plan Commission, and I offered a annual planning report as well. The sort of high level summary of that was I got something like 25 inquiries and questions about planning and zoning questions here in Lapel, and some of those turned into BZA and Plan Commission applications. Some of them did not. Most of them did not. We had a little over 100 permits issued over 2025. The two most common reasons for a permit were fences and roofs. I did a quick summary also of, we had 7 Board of Zoning Appeals cases, 5 address assignment cases last year, Additionally, there was one final plat that was approved, I think in January of 2025. And then we had I think that's it, actually.
Very good. Very good. Any questions? This is part of planning?
Oh. Yes. Amy Egley, had, been absent for 3 meetings in a row, and she also sent an email, the night of our meeting and, another one, this morning, I believe it was, where she, essentially resigned her position on the plan commission. And Amy was, the town council president has to appoint, one of the people at town council president appoints to the Board of Zoning Appeals, is a member of the plan commission, and that was Amy. So we need somebody, so in addition to somebody to replace her on the plan commission, we also need someone to replace her on the Board of Zoning Appeals. And that person needs to be selected from the citizen members of the planning commission.
Does the planning commission need to, does council appoint the person to the planning commission or the president?
And the president did.
The president, yes.
Okay. I know the appointment things. I never know who's supposed to appoint people.
So, and the president did.
Okay.
On his final day of office. And should I read that now?
Yes.
I shall read that now. I'm writing this letter to let you know that I'm appointing Alicia West to the Planning Commission as of today, January 12th, 2026. So Ms. West is now on the planning board.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
So yes, at some point, there's not any pending Board of Zoning Appeals cases, so this is not like a
rush.
But we will need somebody to be appointed from one of the citizen members of the planning commission. Or I guess actually one of the 3, because Andrea's already one of the citizen members that's already on the Board of Zoning Appeals. So we need, among the other 3, another selection to fill the Board of Zoning Appeals.
And we do that? The board does that, or they do that? The board does that?
You do that.
I do that?
The president does that.
Reluctantly or unfortunately, whatever word you use.
Can we go back to the first item? Okay, we'll do that. We will look over their resumes and do that.
All right, that's all I've got for you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, utilities is next.
I was waiting for you to call it.
Well, I was getting ready to.
All right, so.
Go ahead. Chair recognizes Brandon.
We got the snow box was delivered, the other day. Hopefully we don't have to use it, but I'm sure we will.
With that.
So we got that. I wanted to touch base real fast on the lead, galvanized, and unknown letters that were sent out at the end of last year. There's kind of some questions on that I've heard. So basically, anybody that has a lead, galvanized, in need of replacement, or unknown service line receives these letters yearly until 2037 or until it's replaced. We're not the only town that does this. Indiana has around over 4,000 public water systems, and there's only a handful that has an all plastic system. So we're not the only ones that do it. I think the town has 2 lead lines they're customer owned, so they're not even town owned. Indy Water, when they reported in 2021, had 55,000 lead. So we're really, really low on that level. I just kind of wanted to clarify like why we send the newsletter out, let everybody know that they're gonna be yearly until we get them replaced. I think the SRF funding for it kind of disappeared. I'm not sure where we're at on.
Not kind of, it did.
That's above my pay grade on where we get grants and money to do that, but the government's trying to figure it out. So I just wanted to touch base on that. I apologize for not getting this added to the agenda because I just got it yesterday, but I got a quote from Midco Diving to come out and clean the clear well. We've done the tower, we've done both the wells. So I wanted to get the clear well cleaned. With that, I think you guys got an email to you. I think I gave Gary a hard copy. It kind of breaks it down. You got the cleaning inspection price of $4,476. And then some other fees in there. And then the last one was for $545, you get a full written inspection, which is what like the DNR, everybody's gonna want when they come and check this stuff.
Certified written report.
Yeah, it's just a full report. Instead of a basic summarized report, it's just a full written report. So after all that, with the higher priced report, the total comes in at $6,588. I would strongly suggest that we do that. I asked her schedule and she wasn't too sure, but she knew she has some jobs coming up in Indiana. So if they're in this area, they can fit us in and get it done sooner than later.
We good on that. We have the money for that. So I would entertain a motion to approve the Midco cleaning of the clear well.
I would make a motion to approve the Midco quote for cleaning the clear well.
Lindsay second.
Gary.
Yes.
Lindsay.
Yes.
Brian, dang it. Chad.
Yes.
She almost went the whole earlier.
Wasn't me, I wasn't here early enough.
That's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay. And again, you guys are doing a good job on the snow removal.
Thank you. Hopefully we don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, great.
It's like, what do they say? Like speak it into existence. Like if I keep saying we don't have to do it, then maybe we'll
Something
stop.
like that, huh? Next up is the Parks Department.
Our meeting is next week, so I don't have an update.
Very good. No report from the Parks Department for 2026. Next up is the RDC.
RDC met with a quorum in our regularly scheduled meeting tonight. So real quick on that topic, we had one claim to pay for our annual reporting that was completed in November. We do have an opening still. The person that I had suggested get put onto the RDC was appointed to the planning. So we are looking for folks for the redevelopment commission. All right. I was informed at tonight's meeting that 2 of our members do intend to resign before spring because of obligations that they have that they will not be available. So anyone that is interested in joining us on the RDC, please send your application or your intent or desire to the info@lapelindiana.org email address so that we can get you before us to figure that out once those folks do officially resign. But we do have one official opening now. That is an appointment of the town council. That as soon as we have someone that is interested and can make our schedule, could be appointed. So there's that. The redevelopment commission did vote tonight for 2 things. Our redevelopment plan has not been updated in a long time, so we are seeking a quote, or will be seeking a quote to update our redevelopment plan with all the new rules and regulations that came out in the last year and a half. And then we also voted to pay for out of RDC funds the Lapel Town portion of the Reedy Financial study for the modernization of local government with the township. That's all I got.
Very good. Administration.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. First, I'm happy to report that we received our first applications and fee payments from the right-of-way ordinance last month. Mercury Broadband and Urban Cable have issued permits for approximately 20,000 feet of right-of-way work and paid the corresponding fee. And this work will take place along 300 South, 400 South, Atlantic Road, County Road 950, Old Indiana Road, and 132. We've also been advised that Comcast intends to file applications as well to do about 60,000 feet of work here in town, and we're awaiting additional information from them at this time. Very closely related to this, and is a next step to streamline our operations, we are now evaluating options for accepting digital submissions, which will allow us to more efficiently use and store permit information and assist with workflow. I hope I'll be able to report more information on that at our February meeting. We also had the Madison County Economic Development Group come in. We met with them, talked about their various initiatives. There were some specific conversations that took place with regard to the land for sale at State Roads 13 and 38. And it's my understanding that overall in the state, inquiries are way down. They also announced that at their meeting last week, but the land has been listed on the IEDC website, and they are also assisting the property owner and the realtor with participating in a new program by Duke. It's a shovel-ready program, which they believe will enhance the opportunities for that area. And they said they would advise us as information becomes available. As previewed at our last meeting, we have launched our employee evaluation process for 2025. Regarding planning, and I'm glad Marcellus is here so I can compliment him publicly. He's an excellent planner, and we are extremely happy with his services. He's a hard worker. He's very, very well versed in his field. So this is not a reflection of him, but we are evaluating what would be the best fit for us as far as our planning department. I know that MS, the company Marcellus works for, has said they are going to send us a revised proposal that better reflects our needs. Part of this process also involves we've placed a job posting for a planner. So we are going to see what the market has to offer with regard to an in-house planner. That way we'll have all of our options on the table and we'll be able to make the most informed decision possible. Finally, we are following several bills in the Indiana General Assembly, as was referenced. Many of those would have a large impact on local government's ability to address development. It's a great concern to many towns, many counties, cities in the state. So we're watching it closely. I know that the legislature does not have to adjourn until I think late March, that they've agreed to adjourn late February. So we should know soon what that will look like. And I do hope that the legislators are very thoughtful when they consider the kinds of authority they would be taking away from local governments as they seek to ensure that developments are a good fit for the places they seek to develop. So I'm happy to entertain any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Better get my glasses on, what's this next one? Oh, it's the clerk treasurer's report. Chair recognizes the clerk treasurer.
Thank you. I just had a couple things. So we upgraded to the new Neptune 360 meter reader today. Well, today was our first day to try it.
Good.
Ben's gonna come back on Tuesday. We're gonna download everything and see if we got everything. We ran into about a 2.5 hour delay this morning trying to get it all to do what it was supposed to. The next thing is referring to earlier, if anyone is interested in running in the caucus for Brian Robertson's spot, you will need to get a hold of Kelly Hewer. She's the chairwoman of the Madison County Republican Party, and I'm just gonna put her phone number out there. 317-840-4394. And her email address is probably where you need to submit your interest. And it's HEUERKELLI@gmail.com. And that's all I have.
All you have?
So for that caucus, there is a form you have to fill out. And it's on the state website. I'll post about
Okay,
this. So
thank
just
you.
so everybody knows, it's not just a letter you send to
Right.
Kelly, like,
Okay,
you have to, and the form has to be notarized.
Right.
So, and it has to be turned down in the county building. So I'll get that up tonight so that if somebody wants the form, they have it.
all right, thank you.
Very good. Thank you for that input. What's next? Oh, approval of the minutes. What minutes do we have?
Do not read your email.
I'm asking the person that's in charge of that.
I will just hand them to you. There's 3 different
Very good.
ones.
Very good. Okay, we're looking at the minutes for September the 8th, special meeting. Remember the minutes for the September 18th meeting, regular town meeting. And the minutes for the council meeting on October 16th. Are there any discussion, or is there any discussion? And are there any corrections? If not, I would entertain a motion to accept as presented the minutes for September 18th, and October 16th.
Right.
Oh, the other one was 8?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
September 8th.
I'm sorry. September the 8th, special meeting 8. You're right, very good.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Gary,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Chad,
Yes.
Approval of the claims. We do have one amendment for the claims. We'll have to remove the Westland Concepts claim this evening, since we have to have 3 votes.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 2026 claims minus
Westland.
Westland Concept line item.
I'll second.
Gary,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Chad.
Yes.
Next, we have the approval of the allowance dockets as presented. Are there any questions or comments? Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Gary,
Yes.
Chad,
Yes.
Lindsay.
Yes.
Very good. Council member comments? Nothing? Very good. The only thing I'll say is I'm sorry that Brian had to leave, but as you know, we are all just, what do I want to say?
People.
We're just normal human beings, and things, life gets in the way of other things, and other things came up, and we have to move on. So, sorry to do that. I'm hoping that somebody out there will put in for that job. Very good. Nothing else? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Anyone opposed to that? Okay, very good. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for listening.